You're interviewing for a higher paying job, one that moves you closer to your goals, gives you more room to pay off debt, to breathe, to save. The minute you walk into the building, something changes. Your shoulders tighten, your words become careful, your smile turns into a tool. You start filtering every thought before it leaves your mouth, not based on what's true, but on what's safe. You don't want to say the wrong thing. You don't want to lose the opportunity. You just stepped onto a stage. So you begin to perform. You're not there as yourself anymore. You're there as a version of you designed to be accepted. Now imagine doing that 3, 4, 5 times in a single week. Interview after interview. Different rooms. Different people. Different versions of you. It's exhausting. Not because you weren't prepared, not because you didn't know what to say, but because every time you had to put the mask back on, you had to choose your words. You had to hold yourself in place. You weren't just answering questions. You were carrying a role, and the more times you step onto that stage, the heavier that role becomes. And it's not just interviews. Most of the stages you step onto aren't big. They're small, easy to miss. It's the way you change your voice when someone important walks by, the way you laugh a little louder than you feel, the way you nod even when you don't agree. You don't think of it as performing. You think of it as being polite, but each time you do it, you step onto another stage, and the more of those little stages you walk across, the more tired you become without knowing why. And the strangest part is that the performance doesn't stop when the room goes quiet. It follows you home. You replay what you said, what you should have said, what you wish you hadn't. You imagine how someone took your words. You wonder if you came off wrong. You think about how to fix it next time. No one is watching, but you're still performing. You're still adjusting yourself for people who aren't even there. That's how deep the habit goes. And most people try to explain it away. They say, "I'm just an overthinker." But that's not what it is. You're not thinking too much. You're worrying about how everyone else reacts. Like the moment something bad happens. And before you even feel it, you're already thinking about who you're going to tell. Who can handle it? Who will worry too much? Who might judge you? Who will make it worse? And then the other side of it. When something good happens, you don't just feel that either. You think about who you should share it with, who will be happy for you, who might get quiet, who might feel left behind. It doesn't feel like performing to you, it feels like overthinking. But what you're really doing is managing reactions before they ever reach you. You're adjusting before anything even happens. You're still playing to the part of you that feels safest to show. The part that won't upset anyone. The part that gets accepted. And that's why it feels so heavy. Have you ever wondered why most relationships start off fun and feel easy at first, but slowly fall apart? It's because in the beginning, both people are performing. They're showing the best version of themselves. They're hiding the parts that might push the other person away. They're trying to be what they think the other person wants. It works for a while, but most people can't keep that up forever. Eventually, the mask slips. The real person shows up. And if the relationship was built on the performance, it starts to crack. Not because anyone is bad, but because pretending isn't something you can do for life. And just because two people stay together for 20, 30, even 50 years doesn't mean they weren't performing in the beginning. Most relationships start with a version of us that's trying to be chosen. What matters isn't that you performed. What matters is what happens after the mask comes off. Some relationships fall apart. Some grow stronger. The ones that last are the ones that make room for the real version of you. Not the perfect one, the honest one, like someone starts venting to you. Before, you would have jumped in immediately. You'd reassure them, explain things, try to make it better. You'd leave the conversation feeling heavier than when you entered it. This time, you don't rush. You listen. You don't fix. You don't take responsibility for how they feel. They pause. They find their own words, or they change the subject. And you notice something subtle. They're not upset with you. They don't pull away. The conversation just balances itself. And you don't feel drained afterward. That's when you realize you weren't connecting before. You were carrying. You were carrying other people's emotions so they didn't have to. And instead, you start noticing something different. Not all at once. Not dramatically. Just slowly. You stop feeling pulled to perform. You stop feeling like you need to fill the space. Some conversations feel quieter, some feel shorter, and some don't happen at all. But the ones that stay feel easier. You're not explaining as much. You're not agreeing just to agree. You can sit in the same space without needing to manage the mood. And over time, something shifts. You're taken more seriously. Not because you're louder, but because you're clearer. There's less confusion, less tension. Fewer people around you, but less weight on you. Because the real you isn't asking to be chosen. It's just there. And the people who stay aren't guessing who you are. They're actually with you. When you stop performing, it only makes sense that some people drift away. Some feel uncomfortable. They weren't connected to you. They were attached to the version of you that made them feel safe. So when that version fades, it feels like something is being taken from them. Even though all you did was stop pretending. That's why some people pull away. Not because you changed for the worse, but because you changed for the truth. And that's what makes it hard. The people closest to you have known you the longest. They've been with you through all the versions, through all the performances. So when you finally stop, they're the ones who feel it the most. Not because you're wrong, but because the version of you they were used to is gone. And change is uncomfortable for the people who learned how to live with who you were. You don't become powerful when everyone likes you. You become powerful when you no longer need them to. And that doesn't make you cold, it makes you whole. So you don't have to announce anything. You don't have to explain yourself. Just notice how much lighter it feels to stand still inside yourself. That's the counterweight.